Welcome to my presentation. Hi, I'm Eunice, and I'm going to talk briefly about children oral language and literacy development from 0 to 8 years old, and the main characteristic for the learning environment that helps children oral language and literacy, and explanation of Australian early years educational context based on EYLF framework, and one example of a learning experience for 3 years old that encouraged oral language and literacy. Children learn language based around four components, which is phonological about sound, syntactic about grammar, semantic about meaning, and pragmatic about use of language. When children were born, they can only smile, cry, make babbling sound, say 1 to 2 words, or make consonant and vowel sounds such as papa, papa, mama, mama. Also, they will respond to you by turning around and look at you with their eyes. As children are in their toddler age, they can be able to form 3-word sentences, may hear words but not be able to pronounce themselves, start to work with their grammar, and say it in a short and incomplete sentences. Once children are in preschooler, they're able to use a more complex sentence, still have a bit of difficulties in pronouncing at the end, might communicate with themselves and starting to learn the language in a different situation. Lastly, when they are in the schooler time, they can pronounce the word better and continue to develop more words, and their grammar is continuing to grow and able to form words grammatically if it's in the simple context. And they have started to extend more on their vocabulary and their semantic knowledge, maintain to grow. And lastly, they have started to pay attention to the way they use their language, whether it's in appropriate context or situation. Some of the key characteristics for the learning environment that helps oral language and literacy development focus more on the way how sound is developed in children, pay attention to the way children communicates during different contexts, boost children vocabulary development, and strengthen children's relationship in social learning. In the early years of learning framework, they use 5 principles and the principle that underpins practice, and with 5 learning outcomes to help and increase the learning for the children. They mention children needs much variety of experiences and interaction to promote their learning and development and their understanding around the world. They stated that during the process of working with families, educators utilize the learning outcome as a guide for their planning for children learning. To engage children with learning, educators establish a strength and interest to create a suitable learning environment for them. Educators can sing songs and rhyme with their children by adding actions and dance to engage them in the early learning center. Through songs and rhyme, children can engage easily and develop their language and literacy much quicker as they start to hear and remember the words and the pronunciation the educator have said. When it is played multiple times, children will remember clearly as it is stuck in their brain for a long time, and eventually start to copy the educator by singing to themselves and even trying to copy the action. This learning experience can encourage a different variety of learners, as children can either sing with pairs or group of their friends to build their confidence levels, as they can slowly adapt the learning experience, especially to the children who are non-English speakers when it comes to singing. Overall, children able to develop more and strengthen their oral language and literacy from the day they born to 8 years old. The learning experience has been included to assist children with their pronunciation, vocabulary, able to have a conversation in a different situation in their early lives, and build on their social connection that bring interest, strength, and knowledge they already have. Based on EYLF, children needs a wide varieties of experiences and interaction based on 5 principal practices and 5 learning outcomes to assist their learning and development. For example, when educators create a learning experience that introduce them about language and literacy through simple songs and rhymes, include action, playing multiple times, children can remember deeply inside them. Thank you so much for listening.